I'm here with Dr. Peter Koponis. We're going to talk about his new book, Restoring Trust. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, tell us what made you decide to write Restoring the Trust and sort of for couples.
Well, just in my own practice as a therapist, I've been treating so many couples who have been struggling because pornography has really infected their marriages and created so much damage in it. Several years ago, I wrote a book, Integrity Restored, and in that I had a chapter for married couples. And I just realized that that wasn't enough. There was so much more that needed to be said. Couples needed a resource that would show them, where they could find help to heal and restore their marriage while, combining the modern research and psychology of recovery with Catholic spirituality.
Sure. Tell us a little bit about the landscape. Pornography is just pervasive and it's really cancerous for relationships of all kinds. So, tell us a little bit about the landscape for families.
It is devastating for families. The American Association of Matrimonial Attorneys did a study on this, and they found that pornography plays a significant role in 56% of all divorces. And what we're finding is that pornography use in marriages, it's not just the husbands. Wives are also viewing it too. And on both ends, it's really damaging the marriage. When a spouse finds out that their husband or wife has been using pornography, they feel very hurt, they feel very betrayed. For them, this is infidelity, this is adultery. And so there's a trauma that they experience because of that. In fact, we call it betrayal trauma, and often the symptoms are similar to PTSD. So this is how devastating it is for spouses.
I think that betrayal. That's kind of a great term, really, betrayal trauma, because particularly for the dignity of human body for us as Catholics, it's almost like a form of abandonment, in many ways. So you can understand that trauma aspect to it. How does that kind of manifest itself then in through couples' daily lives?
Well, it creates this rift between them, because particularly for the spouse that's offended, let's say the wife, she feels hurt, she feels betrayed, she feels rejected by her husband, because let's say you have a wife in her 40s or 50s or whatever, and she's very beautiful, but she looks at the women in porn who are usually in their 20s, and thanks to all the plastic surgery, photoshopping, digital enhancements, makeup, and so forth, these women don't exist in real life. But to their husbands, they have the quote perfect body. And so a wife looks at that and she thinks, how can I compete? I've lost my beauty. I'm no longer desirable. He's rejecting me. He wants to replace me with these young girls in porn. Now that's devastating. That hits to the core of a person. And this is where we see the trauma. Nowhere do I see more damage done in marriages by pornography than to the hurt spouse, right? And it's not just the wives. If there's a situation where a wife may be addicted to pornography, a husband can also feel hurt and rejected. So it doesn't discriminate. It goes both ways.
Absolutely. And then that recovery aspect to restoring that trust. And in terms of particularly the person who's addicted to porn, how I would almost think that setbacks have to be kind of easy to happen given our access to media, given how much in like even normal network TV of how many suggestive things there are.
Yeah, it is difficult. Pornography is everywhere. And as we know, sex sells. And that's why. And in the recovery process, you have to expect that there will be falls along the way. It's not like a person gets into recovery, they stop viewing pornography, and that's it forever. Okay, there are falls. Now, ultimately, the goal is to eliminate it totally. But you have to realize that there will be falls. And I tell people if there is ever a fall, okay, let's take a look at it, let's analyze it, figure out what happened, and we'll use that to strengthen their recovery program to ensure that it doesn't happen again. And we have many different phrases in recovery, and the one that I like is progressive victory. It's not instant victory, it's not overnight victory, it's progressive, and you have to understand that and realize that and be patient with it. But as you're constantly working on recovery, you will eliminate it. And recovery, it's not a checklist where you do these tests and you're done. It's a lifestyle, but it's a healthy lifestyle. And this is where people who are in recovery often are very grateful for it, because not only are they able to eliminate this unwanted behavior, the drug, the pornography, and so forth, but it also improves many other areas of their life where they're able to be open and honest with people. They're able to develop deeper, more intimate relationships with people. So a lot of good can come out of that.
That's some great news about it because the statistics are almost devastating. I think when you read, I follow a lot of the Twitter on porn harms and understanding just how devastating it is to individuals, to families, just across the boards. So it's great to hear about progressive victories. Where can people get a copy of Restoring Trust and learn more about your work?
Well, Restoring Trust, it's published by our Sunday Visitor publishers, so they can go to our Sunday Visitors website. They can, of course, get it on Amazon.com. They can get it on BarnesandNoble.com. To learn more about my work, you can go to my website, PeterKliponis.com. I have two other websites. I have MaritalHealing.com for couples, and then IntegrityRestored.com.
That's great. Thanks so much. And I would encourage everyone to visit those websites because this problem is insidious of pornography. So thanks so much for taking the time to be with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
And now back to the rest of This Is the Day.